If you feel wimpy because you always go back to God after sinning, and then even though you say you won't do it again, you go back and do it again and you do the thing that causes you grief. If you're that person, I have a question for you. Have you seen Hacksaw Ridge? Because I want to briefly explain it because I want to make a point. So it's a true story about a guy called Desmond Doss, and the Americans are going to war against the Japanese. So Desmond decides to go to war as a combat medic, but he refuses to carry a gun as a Christian guy and take a life. So him and the superior officers back and forth a little bit, and eventually he's allowed to go to war without a gun. So he arrives at a place called Hacksaw Ridge in Okinawa, and I hope I said that right. Just correct me if I'm wrong. But ahead of them lies a terrible looking war zone that they have to ascend up a cliff face to get to, and up the cliff face they can use a big rope ladder that they all go up together. So they're in battle, he's carrying people around, he's carrying people on his shoulders, treating the wounded, and eventually his teammates, the Americans, decide they're going to retreat. He was supposed to go with them, but he decides he's going to stay back overnight. And he is still in the war zone. There are enemy soldiers around him all over the place. And he decides he's going to go rescuing people, and he prays this prayer. He says, "Lord, just one more." And he keeps going back and forth, and he goes deeper into the war zone, saving people, and he brings them back to the cliff face, lowers them down by a pulley system, and every single time he says, "Lord, just one more." And he keeps going back. And the reason I want to share that, Jesus wants you to be the one more. And for some of you that might sound a bit tacky, like, "Oh no, Jesus wants one or more of me. Oh no, whoa." Nah, he doesn't want anyone random. He doesn't want somebody that won't want him. He wants you. So I just want to make it clear, we got to make it easy to be saved from the war zone. And I'm not going to try give you some how-to in that, but you basically, if you do want a how-to, if you want to make it easy to be saved and call out saying, "I'm over here," and he's going to come get you and carry you out of there, you read your Bible, and you get in there consistently. And for some of you, that might sound way too basic, but I have a bit of a testimony about this. I was addicted to some stuff. I'm not going to say what, just because I want temptation to be an overall encompassing thing. Like right now, I've been tempted a lot to just scroll. There is some funny stuff in my feed, I'm not going to lie. But I was in a situation where I didn't like where I was at, right? I've shared this a little bit before, so if you're following me for a bit now, you might know. But like every single one of us do, I was addicted to something. And I still read my Bible. I'd been an avid Bible reader for a long time, all this kind of stuff. And one day I came across the verse in, I believe it's 1 Peter. I don't exactly know. It's in Peter or something. The verse goes something like this: "As a dog returns to its vomit, so a fool repeats his folly." And I imagined that so vividly, a person returning to their vomit. It's a disgusting thought. And immediately I went, I'm not going to be that guy. I'm not going to be the fool repeating his folly. And for some of you, that might be the verse that really resonates. But if it's not, get in your Bible and find the one. And every single time you read your Bible, it's not going to be a huge thing that transforms you, right? It's like a relationship. You just got to show up. It's the art of showing up, not the art of being great, not the art of being perfect and removing all the sin from your life and then saying, "Hey, Jesus, I'm over here." And he goes, "Ah, my God, it took you so long." No, it's you say, "I need this help." And you make it clear that you want the help. He wants to wash it into you, right? He wants to take you back and say, "We're good. I took you out of there. We're all good." And you don't have to go back into the war zone. And I'm not going to say it's some super easy thing. It's not a one-time thing. I thought it was. It's not a one-time thing. There was many times, and I'm sure you've been there too, where I would say, "I'm never doing that again. Never again." And sure enough, you're back at it, doing the thing in like a week, couple days, couple hours. And it's sometimes it lasts a few months, but if we really push for a lifestyle that just involves cultivating an environment where God is the gardener and we are the garden, and we are very clearly open to being watered by his love and his presence, things get so much easier. Because the moment I cut that sin out of my life, because of the Bible verse that really just like flicked something off in me, it was like my life just gained so much more peace and clarity. It's like the enemy wasn't tempting me so much and he wasn't able to, because I wasn't giving an opening from the sin I was committing. I just like fumbled over my words. I don't know if I'll include that now, but But we often worry about the backlash from giving up that thing. Maybe you hang out with friends and they're honestly great people. And unfortunately, they don't influence you in the right direction to where you want to go. I wouldn't say you have to cut them off completely, but just saying I'm gonna stop doing this thing is like just taking a band-aid off of a wound that isn't healed. And it's like kind of a gross analogy. Why am I using that analogy? It's just because of the war stuff. But if we want to get rid of a habit, right? It's like atomic habits. It's just simple stuff like this. Like the Bible talks about this in depth, but a lot of you haven't got into your Bible yet. And if you do, just set a 5-minute timer each morning at a consistent time and just show up then. I personally do half an hour each morning and night. Sometimes I listen to a sermon. I just pray and I do what feels right. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's a journey, not a destination. And the destination is the best part of the longer journey. Just because we get to spend eternity with Jesus in a tangible, physical way. And I can't say this lifestyle that you want is going to come easy. If it was, you'd probably already have it, right? Maybe you do have the lifestyle, but maybe you've come out of that temptation and it is difficult for you to, and you think you're in a really like strong spot. You think you're holding firm. Maybe you are, but don't give the devil a foothold. It says that very clearly in the word. I don't want to misquote exactly where it's from because I don't have that on hand. I haven't got the Cliff Knightley type ability when it comes to Bible verses just yet, because I'm not deep in it to that extent. But if I was, I'd have that skill. So if you want to get rid of this bad habit, this bad temptation, you have to replace it with something. I used this example in the last video too. For me, I really didn't want to go for a run yesterday. I really didn't want to go for a cold shower yesterday. I was not feeling it. I went for the run because I just told myself, I'm just going to show up. I didn't say I'm going to run. I didn't say I'm going to go for a long time. I didn't even go for that long. But after I went, I didn't just do it and go, great, time to scroll. I made sure that I just took a little bit of a time to recognize I actually did that. I kept that promise to myself. And when you internalize that, that you can keep a simple promise to yourself and then you actually keep that promise, your brain literally rewires to keep the promises you make to yourself, and it's not hard with time. As you do it more, it gets so much easier. It's just a muscle you work. So when it comes to giving up that temptation, a lot of us do just want a clear how-to guide. And I kind of do have one, but I feel like this video is just to encourage you. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to try, You don't have to have the smoothest road to this victory that you want. You don't have to have the cleanest suit and tie when you enter into God's presence and you try to go towards Him. He wants you how you are. You think the prisoner on the cross that said, Jesus, remember me when you come into your kingdom, after defending Jesus from the other prisoner that was mocking Jesus, that prisoner didn't remain silent because of the crimes he's committed. That prisoner said, please remember me when you come into your kingdom. And Jesus told him, the man who deserved crucifixion, only the worst of the worst deserve that. Like the people you hate, right? The people like that deserve it. And Jesus took that on for us, which is kind of, I'm just saying, that's pretty cool. That's awesome. I like downplaying it even at that extent. But Jesus said to that prisoner who did all that stuff, we don't even know what he did, but it was probably horrendous. Today you will be with me in paradise. He got to be with Jesus after that. And I know a lot of people that have felt too far gone, so they just don't try. They don't worry about trying. They feel like church isn't something that is actually interesting because, you do kind of have to sit there for a while. Sometimes they ramble on and it all sounds like one long note. And it's painful. It kind of sucks. But if you really want this temptation to change and your life to change, pick up your Bible, 5 minutes a day, start somewhere small, and show yourself you can take the small steps. Eventually the big steps won't seem so big. So seriously, get into your Bible, and you got this. Temptation never leaves, but I've noticed it does lessen a lot as I've become somebody who sins intentionally. Way less. Temptation is way, way less. And only when you are weak, temptation will come at you stronger. But at this point, you are stronger too. So seriously, just start small. Just pick up your Bible every now and again. And I'd suggest that be 5 minutes a day, consistently. If you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe, smash that notification. Oh, I hit my horn. I'm kind of kidding, but I'm not. So, bye.